Good afternoon and welcome to day 3 of the World Taekwondo Grand Prix. This inaugural Grand Prix has reached its final day's action, with days 1 and 2 giving us high drama and shocks, surprises, and there's been a few tears shed as well. This Manchester crowd have had their December evenings warmed up by the athletes from 59 different countries, with 256 fighters all trying to claim vital ranking points in their quest to reach the 2016 Olympic Games. Whilst most of us are thinking of presents and reindeer, these fighters have on their minds just one thing: a place in Rio. This home crowd has had 2 British golds to cheer so far. Can Olympic gold medal winner Jane Jones make it 3 in 3? You join us live here in Manchester, England for the World Taekwondo Grand Prix. Good evening, my name's Alan March and you join us here at Manchester Central, and for tonight's schedule you can see it right on your screen at the headliner right at the beginning if you're in the home audience. Jane Jones taking on nemesis from China, Hu Yuzu. They fought each other 3 times. This will be the 4th meeting. France and Spain have contestants in the 2nd semi-final in that category. We move on to the men's under 68 kilogram semi-finals. After that, Alexei Denishenko taking on his opponent from Iran. Canada and Iran again in that 2nd semi-final. All the action brought to you live here from Manchester Central, here in England. 80 ranking points are up for grabs. 48 just to get into the final itself. Semi-finalists will get 28.8. It's a big haul. It's a big task. Let's find out who's got what it takes to make it to Rio.
This is the inaugural World Taekwondo Federation Taekwondo Grand Prix. And welcome to England, by the way. This is Manchester! Satellite right the way around the world, 98 countries. We're going to our first category. It is the senior female, minus 57 kilograms.
So our first contest of this evening, and the home crowd have a chance to do something they've been doing for the first 2 days, and one of the people that supplied the ammunition for their cheering on Friday night was Mohammed Cho, and he joins me here in the commentary position. Good evening, Mohammed, how are you doing? How much is a home crowd important to a home athlete?
It's very important. I think the crowd gets you going. It's fantastic to be at home and performing in front of millions of people who are cheering you on. So Jade is going to be ecstatic just to have all that supporters today.
Jade coming back from a back injury. She also quite openly stated that she kind of fell out of love with the sport. Is it hard to keep up that dedication as you go along?
Yeah, when you come from such a long way as she does, she's been training quite a long time. She looked to get into the 2012 and get that medal, and that takes some time, and that's hard, a hell of a lot of training to do. And so to win the gold medal and try to come back and do it again, it is something you got to be really motivated to do again.
Well, we couldn't have asked for a better semi-final here. This is a lady from China. This is Hu Jiazu, who they know each other pretty well.
That's right. This is going to be the fourth fight they're going to have between each other. First time they fought each other was in 2011 in Korea, which was in the finals, and she lost to sudden death. And they fought against each other again in Germany, where Jade won, and again in 2012 in the final where Jade won. So they know each other quite well. So this is going to be a test of mental and physical strength.
Okay, so our first semi-final match, and this crowd, a bumper crowd here in Manchester. You'll see and hear them throughout the course of our broadcast to you live across the world. The Taekwondo Grand Prix gets underway on the final night. And Jones and Hu just testing each other out. You know Jones well enough. Mohammed, does she suffer with nerves?
Yeah, she's a confident girl. She knows what she's doing. She doesn't panic. She's very, very effective with her work rate. Never back down, but she's very clever what she's doing here. She's working with her front leg, trying to get into that distance and work off from there.
Ho at the moment strikes first though. China in the red, the Hong, blue, or Chung as it's known. Jade Jones, just 20 years of age. A massive rise for such a young age, and no wonder you can fall out of love so early when you've risen so far so quickly. And you can see the coach of Jade looking on. Quite cagey start here. Yeah,
they're trying to see who's going to be most effective with their checks. And it's kind of mind reading at the moment. Jade is trying to work with the front leg to get into the distance and trying to work from there, and then as Hu's trying to do the same. So she's trying to read the game really.
Well, it is the Olympic gold and silver medalists here. As Mohammed Cho was talking about earlier, Jones leads 2-1 technically in encounters between these two in competition. But here where it counts, she trails by a solitary point. The clock at the bottom of your screen has just stopped for a moment. We're actually about 25 seconds from the end of round one. It is still 1-0 for Hu Jiazu. Good attempt to try and reach that leg up, left leg of Jones, trying to get towards the head of her opponent.
Yeah, I think she's using the front leg to get her opponent back and trying to give her that bait. So when she comes with that back leg, maybe she have an opportunity to go high. So right now she's trying to put the pressure on her, and maybe she might take that bait.
She won't feel any problems being one down at the end of just the first round, will she?
No, she knows the game plan. She knows what she needs to do. So she just needs to recalculate, rethink and refresh. And I'm sure Paul Green's going to give her some more ideas before she comes back out. Not
that we need to tell her, but she has got a tough opponent. Two-time world champion, the 26-year-old. Also a 2010 Asian Games silver medalist. Lost 6-4 in that Olympic final. Jade Jones will tell you she was disappointed with her own performance at those World Championships. Back from injury, back from a training camp in China. And the noise levels here at Manchester Central throughout today got louder and louder every round she progressed, even having to fight her own compatriot Caroline Fisher in round two. But it is Jones who progresses into this semi-final. Second round coming up then. Referee asking them to get underway. And straight away it's Jones that goes on the attack.
There you go, she's using that front leg quite effectively. So the more she's going to use it, the more she's going to take that bait. So there you go. So that's what she's trying to do right now. And who's reading that game, and she's trying to get in as well. So there you go. That's what she was looking for.
Well, you can't see it on your screen, but I can tell you he's one apiece. There you go. One apiece at the moment. Jones finally gets on target. Referee asking them to engage. We've seen this, one of the new rules in Taekwondo, where the referees really want you to get involved a lot quicker than normal.
That's right, that's right. Now they want to see more action, but as we know, Taekwondo is a patient game, and so that's what they're doing right now. They're trying to read each other, who's going to counter, who's going to attack, and then the ref just wants them to get going. So now we're getting some exchanges here now, and she's trying to provoke to get Jade going back. and maybe trying to work with a combination.
Stays 1-1, but who a moment ago with a kick to the chest pad was unlucky not to score. Not quite registering through the threshold. Again, the referee there, you can see, just encouraging them to come together. We had Damon Sanson with us throughout the weekend, Mohammed. He likened Taekwondo to a chess match, really.
Yeah, it is like a chess match, really. But who's very clever. She's obviously sticking to her tactics of trying to put the pressure on her and maybe trying to work off with that back leg as well. And well, now it's Jade at the moment. He's putting the pressure on.
30 seconds remain here in round 2. Apologise for the lack of the clock here, but it's 1 apiece still. 1 apiece with just 20 seconds of round 2 remaining. A tight and tense affair, as it always is, between these two great Taekwondo athletes. Jones again trying to strike, this time with the left leg, and not catching her off guard at all.
Let's not forget these two know each other quite well, so there's a hell of a lot of respect between them. She's going to try so much to win with that mentality of being the best, and right now Jade is trying to show it right to the end, and she's not going to give in.
Well, there you see, 1 apiece. Jade Jones, remembered by millions of British fans running around that arena after the Olympic Games with the flag draped across her. Very proud of her Welsh heritage. But, here it's all about those wonderful points, and 80, it's a big score, 80 points, and you've got it already tucked into your passport.
Yeah, I'm really chuffed about that, but I think the big preparation is over now. Next week we've got the French Open, so we're going to try and collect some points there as well.
If you took, and obviously you know the answer to this because you might have it yourself, but if you take 80 points tonight, do you go to the French Open, or do you try and relax a little bit over the Christmas period?
It depends. Different people like to rest, different people like to train, but it's about your mentality and how you feel. If you feel great, then maybe you might carry on training till then, but if you think a break is what you need, then maybe you might do that as well.
Well, I don't think a break is what Jade wants. She's found that love for the sport at the moment. She'll just want to keep going and going, and what she will want is to progress out of this semi-final, but it's 1 apiece.
There you go. There's that trade there. They're trying to use that front leg, get in the distance and trade off for the back leg. And at the moment, who's giving in that pressure? And she's very clever in the way she's working. Her work rate is so high. She's trying to get her back on her back foot.
She's taking the lead as well, Mohammed.
Yeah,
it's 2-1.
That's right. Jay needs to be a little bit more creative right now.
Tense. You can feel the crowd with the seconds ticking down, willing and hoping, and there's a shot from Jones that she feels should score, and does. Well, it's being contested, and you always see the coach contested, especially at this level.
That's right. It's a crucial point. It's a crucial point at a crucial time. And if Jay gets this, she'll be in a comfortable spot, and that's what she's been looking for. She's been looking with that front leg, get into the distance, and if she does use the back leg to Jay can go high. So she's been giving her that bait all that long that I've been saying. So it's fantastic work rate. Let's see if this video replays goes their way.
Well, we've seen over the course of this weekend how these replays can be good and bad for any athlete, and that's a close one to call from this angle.
It sure is. It is a close one.
The good thing is that the officials will have a camera from every corner, and they'll be able to take a different look and a different avenue, and you can see their overhead camera looking down on what the officials are doing. This is a nervous and tense moment though, isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is. It's whether having that point where you be comfortable or back to where you was, and you gotta rethink and work again. So there you go. So she's got it. Now that's gonna cut a lot of tension for her, so she can regroup.
Straight on the attack as well. She's not going to sit back and try and defend that 2-point gap.
No, she's a confident girl. She doesn't like to sit back at all. She's always working, and that's what she's doing right now.
Prix just catching Jones's leg under her arm and then attempting to get a kick point herself, and Jones again reaching for the head with that long left leg.
Let's not forget who's got Kyongo right now, so she got to be careful. Any type of mistake, dropping on the floor, going out the ring, or anything could cause Jay getting a point. So you
can see on the bottom of your screen that yellow mark. That's the Kyonga that Mohamed Joe is talking about. One more of those and Jones would move on to 5 through the Chinese indiscipline, but at the moment heading towards 30 seconds here. Again stretching out a leg. This time it's Ho's trying to get back on level terms, but Jones's wonderful kick to the head guard earlier puts her in control. The clock ticking away inside the final 30 seconds. Great Britain have had a finalist every night so far. Can they do it again here at Manchester Central?
20 seconds to go. Jay's trying to close off everything right now.
An action-packed finish here. Referee just stepping in, virtually locked together. And she concedes a point here, Jones.
4-3, 15 seconds to go. Now she's going to be really clever what she's going to do here.
Now she has got to work hard.
10 seconds now. She needs to really keep her off. Now who's not going to let go? 5 seconds, a lot of time.
One moment of madness or brilliance could win this. There's the buzzer.
There you go. She did it. She did it. That was the game plan. She was using that front leg to get in a distance, work up, and that's what she did. She did to perfection. And Hu, fantastic opponent. She tried to get in and work up, work rate, trying to go up, but Jade at the moment she's been working on different stuff, and she's got it right to the end. So her work rate effort is very, very good at the moment. So she must be really confident going into the final.
Two ladies who knew each other inside and out, but tonight it's Jay Jones, Olympic champion, who goes 3-1 up in their mini-series, but at a score of 4-3. More importantly, she heads to tonight's final. The 57 kilograms and under semi-final number 1 is won by Great Britain's Jay Jones. And for a third consecutive night, Manchester Central have a hometown favourite in the final. So 4-3, late score from the Chinese opponent, but it was to no avail. Jones's kick to the head guard was enough. It was contested, it was withheld, and through she goes. So next up, second semi-final. Let's find out who can make it in to that under 57 kilogram final. We've seen Great Britain and China. Now it's France versus Spain. Laborio there with that interesting haircut. That's not one for me. Mohamed, do you think?
That's her style. She's been doing that for quite some time now.
I can tell I'm old now because you used the word style. That was lost on me.
Well, you know, Florian, she's a bronze medalist at the World Championship recently in Puebla, and she's a clever fighter. The Spaniard as well, she's a very, very mature fighter, and this is going to be an interesting match.
Florian Laborio, you can see her path here into the semi-final, and it was a tight one against Lewis. As for Calvo Gomez, sporting the headband there, the ponytail, you'll see that sticking through the head guard in a few moments' time. So France in blue, Spain in red. They'll like that.
Yeah, this is gonna be a real show. Florian, very aggressive fighter. The Spanish, she's very clever. So this is gonna be really interesting. So
Livorio is already in the centre waiting. The referee ready to give them their instructions. Both winning bronze at the World Championships in different weight categories.
That's right. So this is going to be interesting from different weight category. I mean, we had this rule about which weight category you want your points to be allocated. So you have the 57s and minus 53s as well. So they all decide to go in the same group. So it's interesting to have different type of weight categories mixing up now. So this is going to be a really interesting fight.
Eva Calvo-Gomez there, slipping to the floor. Do you find the surface quite slippy when you're out there, or is it just a loss of balance at times?
It depends. Sometimes it could be a loss of balance. Sometimes it could be actually the mats if they are quite new, and if they are new, then it could be quite slippery. Some players like to move, and with slippery mat, as we know, we can't move as much. So so this is going to be it's going to be the time. It's going to be the time to see who's going to work off the movement or who's going to be static. So right now they're trying to read each other, trying to see who's going to be predominant with that front leg.
And a steady start. We've seen a few of these in the semi-finals over the course of the weekend. Nobody wants to miss out on those 48 points by getting into the final. So cagey has been the word in most, I would say, of the semi-finals this week here at the inaugural World Taekwondo Grand Prix here in Manchester. 60 seconds or so gone, and neither finding the target so far. This really is cagey.
It sure is. It sure is. Right now they're trying to cancel each other's front leg. I think what Florian's trying to do is cancel off and go with that back leg sharp to the body. And the Spaniard, well, Eva's trying to get into the distance because she's got longer reach, so maybe she can move and go to the head. So she's trying to use that trademark, which we call a twisting kick, and going inside the body.
Florian just holding out that left leg to try and fend off. We saw the Swedish competitor last night really use that one leg approach to good effect.
Yeah, she showed it. She used it to her advantage, and she was really clever the way she was using it. And her timing of when to lift the leg up and when to put it down, when to cover. So she was really clever. So she showed that it can be used and you can win with it. So
all the way with very few points scored against her. Now going back to this, is it difficult to sort of tour the world with these guys? You get to know them on and off, and then all of a sudden you have to face them.
Yeah, well, with so many tournaments being put on a calendar year, you do come across with great athletes who are in the top, in the top ranking, and you do fight them. So you get familiar with them, you get used to them, and when you do fight against them, it's quite intense. So right now these guys know each other quite well, and there's going to be like a Jade and a China fight where they're both going to try and read each other, trying to cancel each other's leg out and see who's going to be the strongest out of the two.
Of course, some of these athletes have got to come here and try and combat the traditional British cold weather. It's not that cold in Brazil, I'll tell you that for a fact.
It sure ain't.
So nothing scored in that first 2 minutes. Second round here, and again.
There you go, that back leg there, which is looking for. So they're both trying to cancel each other's leg out, and really trying to see a good timing of when to go. There you go, Eva's using that again. With that front leg, trying to cancel it out. Here you go, trying to do a twisting kick again. And that does work quite effectively. A lot of people think it's a weird kick, but it scores. It does actually scores.
Gomez is the only one outside of the top 5 for either under 57 or under 53 kilograms in terms of the ranking. So she's done well to be here, but is certainly not afraid of Liborio at all. And
no, she's not. She's not giving her much respect, not giving her much room. She's pressing. She's using her front leg as she wants. She's imposing her game. Florian as well doing the same. So so he's going to really see who's going to actually give in and change probably the tactics, and probably that might just tell the difference between the two.
60 seconds remain here in the second round.
Again, Eva using that front leg, coming into her distance and working with that back leg. And Florian's not allowing at the moment. She's trying to retaliate, putting on the pressure. And then she's gonna work off of that back leg as well. So it's gonna be interesting who's gonna actually probably change up. Maybe they might want to actually go into the distance or work to the body more. Maybe the faces could be an option. So we'll see. She's there again, working with her front leg again.
The crowd have gone quiet. They're watching on to see who it is that makes it into the final.
Eva did it again. She tried to go into the distance and work to the head, and that's a possibility. So because she's quite taller than her, so she can get over her legs.
Height and reach obviously plays a big part.
Definitely. The taller you are, the more of a reach you have. you will try and play a longer distance and not try your opponent to get into your distance. So it's an advantage to an extent, but then if you know how to use it quite well, then it could be quite effective.
But equally, if you're the shorter opponent, you try and get in a little bit quicker and evade those long legs and arms.
That's right. That's right. You try your best to get in the distance and get out again, because when you're more shorter, you're more faster to get in and get out. So that's what Florian's trying to do right now, to get in and get out.
The interval gives a bit of a leg rub for Eva Calvo Gomez of Spain. Just working on her left knee a moment ago. You're seeing the replays of the highlights of the second round, and as they come out of that, you'll see the two faces, and lots of sweat, but no real concern etched on the faces of either Gomez or Liborio. And we're going to the final round here. We've seen a few sudden deaths this weekend, so this one's heading in a similar vein.
This is going to be interesting. The third round is always exciting because everyone's looking to put that last gap of work right in, and then Florian is trying the same. She's trying to work off with her front leg, but Eva's not allowing it. She's utilizing her front leg too. So they're both quite imposing their game that they want, and this is going to be a test of mental strength. Who's going to carry on with their strategy and who might probably want to change. So that might just tell the difference here.
Florian, a double European gold medalist, one of those here in Manchester, 2012. Two different weight categories, one at bantam, one at feather. But at the moment, you can't split these two. Nothing, and all of a sudden then they pounce into life, the pair of them, but still unable to register. And that yellow at the bottom of the screen might be the deciding factor here for Liborio. She has the one, Gomez has none, and late on, Gomez might look to use that.
That's right. She's trying to be careful. There you go. So there you go. So she was using that front leg all the way through to now. So this just goes to show, if you persevere and you keep going, you believe and you stick to your strategy, it will work eventually. So that's what Eva just done.
She didn't move to plan B, did she? She stuck with A, and it's finally got to that first point.
She sure did. She sure did. Now Florian's in the back foot, and she's going to try and get into that distance. But then, let's not forget, Eva, she's a tall athlete. She got that leg reach. She will keep her away. And Florian's working now.
Final 10 seconds here, and Florian has to put up some sort of fight here with 6 seconds to go.
6 seconds, quite a lot. In Taekwondo, there we go. There you go, 1-1.
What a way to do it.
She got that back.
What a way to do it. What a piece. We are going to that sudden death, as we said, and we thought for a moment it was going to be 0-0. All of a sudden, Calvo Gomez used that long leg, as Hamacho is talking about, that right at the death, the double European gold medalist stretches out and gets her own point. What a piece.
Yeah, she's been looking for that point. She's been looking for the point. She knows she was behind. She knows the time was against her, so she had to get that point back. But then again, Gomez, she had an idea to keep her away. And when someone puts the pressure on you and the time is going, it's not easy to cover. So great work from Florian, actually. So she did quite well to get that point back.
Swing and a miss there, and then a kick to the rib cage.
Yeah, that's where she. So this is what we call counter with a front leg.
And this is the moment that they build up and get that point, and that leveled it up. You can see on the clock how close that was. Just 5 seconds remaining in that final round. 5 seconds, as Mohammed said earlier, that's a lot of time, and it can be the difference between going out and staying in.
That's right.
So sudden death. 2 minutes of overtime here.
Now they're both going to try and protect their body armor. As you can see, Florian is putting her arm over body armor there. Eva's doing the same. And so tension is going to be building. They're not going to try and give away any silly points right now. So there we go. So
possibly even more cagey than they were in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, definitely.
Remember, first point. That's all it needs is that one.
There we go, Florian going in.
Really attacking, looking to take that point.
That's why Eva looked away just for a split second, and Florian trying to capitalize on
Now's not a good time to lose concentration.
No, it's not. She needs to be focused there. There you go.
There's the strike. It does come, and it comes for the Spaniard, the 22-year-old Eva Calvo Gomez.
She used that long reach of hers again, like we were saying from the beginning of the match. She was keeping her at bay, and so there you go. When you get into a distance of a tall player, that's what you can get. You can get caught, and that's what just happened.
Well, it was Gomez that took the lead finally in the third round, and it looked like she might just hang on with a 1-0 lead, but late on, Florian Liborio managed to level it up. It went to sudden death, and that lasted 40 seconds, and then all of a sudden the young Spaniard stretches out the leg and picks off the point she needs to head towards tonight's under 57 kilogram final.
She had that advantage. She's taller out of the two. She just waited just for the right moment of when to go. Just here, she missed, get a point. So she analysed it quite well. She's using her reach, and so it's to her advantage. So she's using it quite well at the moment. So it's going to be interesting between her and Jay Jones, because Jay Jones has an aggressive style of pressing, and Eva just likes to wait and counter off. So it's going to be a really, really good final between these two.
There's only a short gap tonight between the semi-finals and then your final. You've got to wait for 2 more semis, of course. But what do you do in between? What do you do to relax, chill out, just go to sleep, keep your energy levels high? What?
Well, when you have got so much short of a time to get back in, you go in, rethink, refresh. New plans, motivation, analyze what you're going to do, visualize what you're going to do, and that's what probably both of them are going to do right now. So with a short time, they're going to try and recuperate, drink quite fluids, and get going.
So we move on now to the men's 68 kilograms and under. 2 semi-finals. First up, Russia and Iran. So here they come, Alexei Denisenko and Belam Azbakiani. 3 rounds to see who gets those vital ranking points. 3 Grand Prix to come after this one, including a grand final where the top 8 will meet in the showpiece Grand Prix. You'd love to be there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you always want to be in that showcase. You always want to be amongst the best. And this is the time, this is the place to be. This is the place you want to actually show your skills, your style, and impose what unique ability you have. So these two will be quite satisfied, but I'm sure the satisfaction will come if they get to the final.
Well, Denisenko might be a bit of a surprise for everybody here. He knocked out the world champion Lee Do-hoon earlier on today. The Russian Open gold medalist in 2013. Got a bronze in London at the under 58 category. Can he compete with Belam Azbakiani? The Iranians' coaching staff were very vocal in their support for the 2 Iranians still left in this competition. You can see Belam just getting his final words from his coach. But there's been plenty of support for the 27-year-old here, ranked number 4 on the WTF. referee happy, and we're underway with the first of our semi-finals for the under 68 kilogram category. Russia against Iran. Spagliani.
Now, the Iranian guy is very effective with his check. He tries to impose his game with his checks quite a lot, and this is exactly the game that he was doing at the World Championship early on in the year, and it works for him quite effectively. So throughout the whole tournament, he's been using it and it's been effective. Right now, he's reading his player with a style that's quite unique to his way.
And, they're about the same height, these two, pretty much the same build as well, so no advantage gained by a longer legs necessarily, but at the moment Denisenko the more eager to leave the ground and go aerial.
As you can see, the Iranian is using the ring, moving around, trying to change the pace of the game, keeping it to his timing. And you can see his body just leaning back, just keeping the body armor at bay, keeping it away from the Russian player for him to not be able to touch his body armor. So it works effectively to him, and right now he's imposing his game, and he's looking to get that point.
Well, the Iranian team are questioning here. They believe they should have scored a point here. Both of them left the ground. Both of them hit the mat. And Spagliani's coach believes his Taekwondo fighter should have scored here. So the officials will go to their replays. Do you see anything in that?
Well, it's quite close. Sometimes when you see it, you think it's touch, and then when you look at the video replay in slow motion, then you see it different. So different angles they're going to be looking at to see if it did touch or not. So we're just waiting to see if he did touch.
Well, here's the incident in question. They both leave the ground.
Here we go. So as you can see, it looks like it did touch you. He didn't touch the head guard there, but the Russian guy may think different.
Well, the officials are going through their 4 or 5 various different avenues, and the Russian coach has to look on and wait. Remember, it was the Iranian that's called it, and we'll wait for the official verdict here. It's nothing. So a loss of a card quite early there.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta be careful. Well, they can use it now, but if earlier on the stage they used it more twice and they did not get what they wanted, then it could have affected on this in the semi-final. So there he goes, imposing his game with his check, getting into his distance again. This check is becoming a trademark in Taekwondo now since the body armor has changed. The old system has changed now. There's less combination, and now as you can see, that check that everybody's using is working quite effectively, and the Iranian's quite good at it. So he's trying to cancel it out.
Well, nothing for Denisenko, nothing for Spagliani. So we have a similar story to the ladies' contest. A lot of first rounds in this tournament, have gone nothing.
It's the semi-final, and everyone wants to get to that final, and you're not gonna want to give silly points away. You're gonna try and be cagey, trying to protect your body armor, and the less they score on you, the better. So this is normal. It's normal for the semi-finals to be quite cagey in the way they approach this fight.
Well, Spagliani, the featherweight world champion this year, beating Kim Hoon 5-4. So, he's used to being in finals. He has the taste of success this year already from those World Championships. How he would love to start his road to Rio with a minimum of 48 points. He has to get past the Russian Alexei Denisenko here, the 20-year-old, having knocked out the world champion on his way here. He's in confident mood. But again, tentative, explorative, but still 0-0.
Again, the Iranian guys slowing the pace down of the game with that front. There you go. So what the Iranian is trying to do is use his front leg, trying to gain in distance, and as soon as he lands his leg, he use that back leg to get to the body. And the Russian is just really trying to cancel that front leg out and work up from there.
So just forcing his man back is Spagnani, but forward comes Denisenko once again.
You know what the Russian needs to do is really cancel the leg and then go with a back leg double. That could be a solution. Or maybe you could do two the same leg and go high. And but at the moment, just cancel each other now. They're running, is imposing his game with that front leg coming in, stopping. There you go.
That's a great strike.
That's a great strike there from the Russian.
Can't contest it either, of course. But I don't think there was any contesting.
No, there's no contesting there. He did touch. He did touch, and that's what he was looking for. I did say with his front leg, trying to work up and go high, and that's exactly what he just did. And
a wonderful clean strike, that one.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful shot. That was a really, really good shot.
A real Taekwondo 101 there. And
there you go, that punch. That punch has scored. He's been scoring well throughout this tournament. And it's working effectively for him now. So he's nice 4-0 up.
Spagnani now needs a spinning shot to the head just to level it off, or he needs to start working on some smaller scores to get somewhere near. But at the end of round two, a wonderful strike by Alexei Denisenko, and that's what caught out former world champion, or reigning world champion Lee Dae-hoon earlier on today, and it's a wonderful bit of technique.
Yeah, it's a wonderful technique. What he did there, working off that front leg. As we know, the Iranian is going to impose his game. There we go. So he cancelled that back leg. As soon as he dropped that leg, as soon as he dropped the leg, it just came in straight.
Does he actually catch him here?
There we go.
Well, we said using cards early might be a problem, and it's just caused one.
Yeah, there you go. There's a difference there. A slight movement of their head could just give it away to the referees of giving that headshot. So
well, Beno is just, you can see him on the right there, he's looked up at the big screen, which is opposite him. The Russian wouldn't have seen it because it's behind him. It's the opposite end of the clock here at this wonderful Manchester Central. The old railway station with the wonderful clock that's still here. Well, that's what the Russian saw, but unfortunately what the Iranian saw was the big screen. And then what he saw was that foot hit the neck. And now he tries to counter back with his own, and he's done it.
With his own again. There you go. Now
the Russian does have a card. Is it an ace? We will find out.
We'll find out. We will find out. This is interesting stuff. Earlier on, we had a Russian who did get a headshot, which everybody agreed that it was a headshot. Then we did it in slow motion. We saw that he didn't hit the head, that he hit the neck. Now we got the Iranian who actually, we thought that he's got a headshot here. But his one does look clean. But then again, what does the slow motion say?
Well, we called one incorrectly. Let's just hang fire on this one, hey? Well, a big moment during the interval, and here's what the refs have seen.
These headshots are becoming to changing the game from getting 3 points up, and this does change the game a lot. So.
Look how accurately they're trying to get in there. They're zooming right into that left leg, stretching up. And again, a bit like with the Russian score, it's just the head movement that kind of throws you a little bit. Yeah, the Russian, what he did is he cancelled his front leg out to go high, and he ended up touching the neck part of his head. And but what the Iranian guy did, he did it inside. Well, here we go from a different angle. Turning. Does he touch? No, do you know what? Oh. Wow, this could be interesting. Well, from different angles you see different things, so this is what they're looking at. It looks like the Russians have thrown their card into the lost property box as well. So here we go. So from above, there we go. From above, we see that it doesn't touch. Well, so, big calls either way round, and maybe maybe.
There we go. But he's got it. He's got it. He's got a point. And this does happen. Different angles. You see different things. So yeah, but we saw different here. But then again, it is the ref decision. So
perhaps they felt bad for the one that he shouldn't have had against him at all. So maybe they're just leveling it out. I'm not sure that's part of the rules. Well, but we digress. 5-3 now. Denisenko trying to finish it all off himself. He leads by 2 here. We go towards 1:20 on the clock. The Russian has half a footstep, a couple of toenails for that matter, into the final. But you have to wait a little bit longer. A minute is a long old time in Taekwondo.
He's cancelling off that front leg. Benham is trying to get in. He's going to get in with that front leg there. That check, there you go. Here's his trademark that he uses. Now he's going to try and get him out of the ring to get him a Kyungo. Make a mistake. There we go. That's what he was looking for, but the Russian was quite clever just to block it all off and start again in the middle.
It's all rough and tumble at the moment, but no scores being added. 5-3 it remains. Denisenko, 40 seconds hang on here, but there you go. Benham is not giving in. Getting one. Yep, he's down up to 5-4 now, so down by just 1, and we've seen 1 point captured very, very late. He's in a couple of events here.
He's very effective with that front leg. He's very effective, very tricky. He's getting in with the front leg into that distance. And just a little tap in with that. A little tap could score here. So 10 seconds.
He's running out of time. Final 7 or 8 seconds here. Spagnani needs one. Has he got it? No, not yet. They're coming close with a couple of seconds. We're going to come back here with a second. Has he done it? No. Denisenko has hung on here. It became really scrappy towards the end, and maybe, just maybe, a few decisions have gone a little bit against what we thought might happen. A few head movements have cost people either way round, but using those cards is a real skill and an art, and if you don't get it right, it could cost you big time.
Yeah, there you go. Decision making is quite vital here, and that's what probably cost him earlier on. He lost his card, and
who holds more power in that decision, the fighter or the coach? Do you have an idea with your coach, or do you just whoever thinks it calls it? This
is a discussion between the player and his coach. Either he can probably take the leading role, or either the coach take the leading role if he thinks that's the correct decision to make. So there we go. We're seeing it again. We all thought from this angle that the running guy did score. But then again, it wasn't to be. But
well, that was the nail in the coffin. That shot there was the one that got him that extra point, and eventually carrying him through. But well, Alexei Denisenko's knocked out a world champion. He's just knocked out another world champion.
That's why he's doing really well today. He started the day well with beating a world champion, and now again in the semi-final he's proved his point that he can mix with the best. So interesting. I'm looking forward to watching him in the final.
So Mohamed Bagheri Mutamed, so forgive us if you hear us call him Mutamed, but Bagheri Mutamed from Iran makes it a second Iranian contestant, the first one falling at the hurdle. But this time, another nation in the final. We've had representation from a lot of countries around the world. There's 59 countries have entered, and we've had Spanish winners, British winners, winners from Taipei, Sweden, and tonight, Canada have themselves a semi-finalist in Maxime Potvin, but he's got to get past Mohamed Mutamed, the 27-year-old Iranian, versus the 26-year-old Canadian.
Now these two have really similar style. Maxime is going to be the taller out of the two, so he's going to have the longer reach.
Maxime's lucky to still be in this competition. He fought one of your teammates in Jordan Gale earlier on today, and that was a real tight contest. It went right down to the wire, and eventually the Canadian sneaked through.
That's right, Joe. Jordan was unfortunate to lose against him. Such a young player, talented player from Manchester. He's got so much time behind his back, so for him to actually get the experience that he had fighting the world-class players, it's only going to get him better. But Maxim got the better of him right now, and he's got to the stage, and it's proved a point that that he should be here. So it's going to be interesting between Maxim and Bagheri.
So a hug, perhaps that's what he needs.
It can always help.
Do you like a hug before you go out?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a hug just to get a little assurance before I go in there, just to let me know everything's going to be okay.
Next thing you'll tell me, you've got a teddy bear. You're 6'2", man.
I wouldn't mind a teddy bear too.
Let's get back to Taekwondo. That's a bit tougher than teddy bears and Muhammad Cho. Here they are then. So this time, Iranian Mohammed Motamed is in the blue. In red, or Hong, as it's known, Maxime Potvin of Canada. Won the US Open in Las Vegas in 2012 and 2013. He obviously likes to go to Vegas.
Yeah, Maxime's been around. We know that he's a tall player for 4'68". He's got that reach, and he's using it to his advantage at the moment.
Yeah, visibly can see the height difference when they square up properly.
That's right. He's
certainly taller.
Definitely, he's taller too. So he's gonna try to keep him at his leg length. And Bagheri from Iran is going to try and get into that distance and work in that short distance, which is his distance. So it's going to be interesting. There you go, with that long reach there. He's trying to go over to go to the head.
So don't forget, Bagheri Motamed, 2009 world champion, silver medalist, the 2011 World Championships, and silver medalist in the 2012 Olympic Games. What a calibre he's got. But he's coming up against a man with superiorly long legs, and just keeps reaching out, does Potvin, and trying to use those to his advantage. And then interestingly there, getting in close for a big guy. He was quite happy to come in quite close there.
Yeah, he's got to be careful because coming in like that, it could cost him by Bagheri moving his front leg to the face. So there you go. Here's that shot there, that long reach that we was talking about. He's using it to his advantage, and it's working for him. So what Bagheri needs to do is probably move and sneak into his distance, and probably work with that front leg a bit more.
Long legs that are quick, that's a combination that you don't want to face too often.
No, you don't. You got to be careful not going too much into his distance, because if he is, then Maxime can easily move to the face. So it's very tactical at the moment of what he needs to do and how he needs to approach this fight.
So Maxime Potvin, again, not inside the top 5 for either under 68 or under 63 kilograms. So in terms of world rankings, he's out of his depth. But as we've already seen tonight, and his history tells you he's not out of his depth at all. He's just not ranked that highly this time round. But here he is on the big stage, doing what he needs to do. He stretched out those long legs, as Muhammad said, and he leads by that solitary point to nothing here in the break.
That's right. That's what we said. Maxime total too. He's going to use to his advantage. He's going to be effective with that. So Bagheri needs to really think about how he's going to want to approach, how he's going to want to come into that distance. I think probably if he can probably use his front leg just a little bit more, work rate, get up a little bit more, because he's slowing down the pace of the game, and Maxime's not going to allow it with his long reach. So
the crowd enjoying this one as well, drawn in to an interesting fight. And we move into round 2 here. Still 1-0 to the Canadian. Winner of the Dutch silver medalist in the Dutch Open in 2013. He's been picking up silverware and ranking points. But here, Bagheri Motamed.
There you go with that punch there.
Just a bit of a standoff for a few seconds.
He's trying to read his game. There you go. There you go. That slow motion there. He's trying to sneak into the distance, like I said in the beginning of the fight. There you go. He's doing it again. So he's being crafty, and that's what he needs to do. With taller players, the timing could be quite slow, but with shorter players, they can sneak in and just like cat and mouse, really. So this is what it is right now.
Mohamed a moment ago just whipping past the head guard of Popman, who ducked down. Oh, what a punch there.
Punch
very
there.
Quick hands
Very quick
from
hands.
the big man.
Maxime again with a long reach, using it to his advantage. There you go, Bagheri. But he put his hand there to block, so cancel that back leg out.
Again, Popman then just stretching out that long right leg and flicks towards the face. The referee just telling them to come together, and well, Popman thinks he got it, but then gets back down to action. He's not called, and he manages to push away Mohamed this time, and then they come in close and all.
Very close there.
That won't count.
Very, very, very close. But then again, I think his height just came to the rescue there. He got another punch to the body.
Just a bit too low to register.
Yeah.
Mohamed would have felt it, but it was too low to register on the mat. Well, 2-0. So small steps for the big Palpin, but 1 point in each round. That's plenty enough to win it, isn't it?
Well, it can be a winning score, but then again, we always do know the final round is always exciting. You're gonna leave everything on the mat, and I'm sure Bagheri is gonna come out now and do everything that he can to get those points back up, or even try and win it to the last second. So this is gonna be interesting. So they ain't got no Kyongos. Both of them are clean fighters. So this is gonna be interesting. Who's gonna actually take the risk? This is gonna be the question.
You see there, Mohamed trying to register with a punch of his own and just didn't come off. And well, the longer this goes without him registering, the more nervous he'll perhaps become. Canadian leading into this final round, 2-0.
There you go.
Both of them hit the deck, and Popman's claiming a touch of some sorts. No appeals from either camp.
He did say to his coach that he scored, but his coach had different ideas. So like we said, that play on coach initiative, he may think he scored, but the coach is thinking no, save the car probably for later on. You never know. So it might be a good shout for him.
He still leads, and yellow mark now against Mohamed. He's lost half a point. Oh, they're coming together there, and well,
he got another Kyongo, gives a point to Maxime.
That's not helping Mohamed's cause whatsoever.
No, at all. But a point to the head now could even it up. So anything can go. They go a minute 20. That's enough time.
Just into under a minute 20 here. 3-0. It is to Popvin. The Iranians' ill discipline has cost him one of those points. Popvin's skill and courage has got him the other two. 60 seconds.
Needs to really carry on with a game that he had when he was sneaking in. He was working effectively, even though he wasn't scoring, but the pressure was going up. And I think that's the game you need to play against Maxime, because Maxime is slowing the pace down to his level. And if you allow it, then he's going to be the one controlling the fight.
Oh, 50 seconds, and I tell you what, Popvin just stretching towards underneath the chin, didn't quite catch it again. The Canadian coach happy to keep his card in, but it must have been pretty close.
He knows that he's comfortable at the moment, so he's going to keep him at bay with his long legs. And Bagheri is probably looking for that 3 points to the headshot. So
another half point goes for Bagheri. Mohamed, as he hits the deck.
Bagheri is looking for that headshot to even the score up. It's got 15 seconds. And he's looking for that headshot. He's working to look for that headshot. 10 seconds now.
And here you can just see Popvin just trying to keep his man at bay with those long legs.
He sure
5
is.
seconds.
Bagheri ain't got no solution.
2. This one's over.
There you go.
What a strong performance from the Canadian Maxime Potvin. And again, we've said it over the course of this weekend entirely, a lot of surprises here in Manchester. This Grand Prix series might just put the cat amongst the pigeons, as they say.
That's right, Maxime come out of nowhere, and he played against fantastic players, knocking out great players, and he's got a point to prove. So this tournament is proven to people that are not even in the ranking, they can actually step up their game. So this just goes to show that the in-depth of talented players we have got in the ranking, and maybe the people that even are not in the ranking, that are not even here, could also be an opportunity to be here as well.
This is not like a couple of sports where you perhaps look at the top of a table and you think, oh, those 3 or 4, they must be the best ones. This is a sport where, do you know what, you can be anywhere, and if you have a good day, you make a hell of an impression.
That's right with Taekwondo we never know who's going to be the winner. So this is why it's an interesting sport. As we know, sometimes like in football and so on, we always have an idea of who's going to probably finish in that top 3, but in Taekwondo it's not the case. If you're feeling good and you're looking sharp, then you could be the one who could be on your way to becoming the best.
Well, Mohammed likened it to football, but there's no relegation unless you're already out, and there's no promotion unless you can win those 80 points. Well, that's the task at hand, and the noise levels at Manchester Central are just about going to shake the old roof off this railway station in a couple of moments' time. I wonder why that might be.
Well, we sure is. We have Jay Jones going to be taking a stand, and this is going to be a special final for a girl who came back from injury, and she worked so hard to get back in the game, love the sport again, get new motivation, and that's what she did. She got a point to prove, and she got a point to prove to herself, and what a way to do it, what a way to do it, and what a day to do it in Manchester, in front of a home crowd, in front of a family, in front of millions of people around the world. So she's sending a message out to everyone right now.
Well, in 2012, this lady showed that she was capable of winning big things in front of her home crowd. Can she do it again here tonight in the World Taekwondo Grand Prix here in Manchester? This is the final of the women's 57 and under category. The lady on your screen, Olympic champion by her own admission, didn't do so well at the World Championships, but if she can overcome this lady, Eva Calvo Gomez, she'll take 80 massive ranking points and a giant step towards Rio 2016.
That's right, this is going to be an interesting game between the two. Jade, as we know, she's an aggressive player. She likes to press, she likes to work. And Eva Gomez, we know she likes to slow the game down and work with her front leg. So it's going to be interesting to see how the two are going to collide.
Well, I don't know if you've ever been to Manchester, but one thing you won't find ordinarily are dancing tigers. We've got those by the side of the court at the moment. 3 of them, in fact.
Yeah, they're just getting the crowd going here, just to let them know that.
As if they needed any more encouragement than Jay Jones.
Well, Jay Jones is getting the feeling, so to see all of that and all the cheering, the crowd and everything, this is just going to boost up her momentum.
Well, there you can see her running. She had to fend off her compatriot in Caroline Fisher. And Jay did it pretty well as well. 15-2, 10-1, 10-2. And the tightest real affair she's had here was against her nemesis, Huyozu. Those two know all about each other. But here, a different sort of challenge. Eva Calvo Gomez, the 22-year-old Spaniard, was 1 apiece in her match earlier with Florian Liborio, a European champion, and the Spaniard quite happily taking that one to sudden death and nicking the point to be here in this final. She will be ecstatic. 48 points already just for getting into the final. But you never say never. Why not try and take 80? Here we have the final of the female under 57 kilograms. Gomez versus Jones for massive world ranking points.
There you go, Jade is bringing her game. She's playing at her pace, and that's what she needs to do. Gomez, the player who likes to slow the game down, and Jade is really taking the game to her. And this is what she needs to keep up. She needs to work and keep her work rate up, because Gomez, if she slows the game down, is perfect for her.
You saw the speed of Jones a moment ago. She whistled one up high, and again she does it there, and Gomez has got to watch that.
There you go. I don't think Gomez had the intention of doing that. Just about with the sensors nowadays, he touched anywhere could score, so she has the advantage now, Gomez.
Gomez has done that. She leads 1-0 here, early doors. Less than 60 seconds gone of our first round of this final. And Jade Jones pushes Gomez back. No score. And Gomez hitting the deck. Inside the final 60 seconds of this first round here, the World Taekwondo Grand Prix in Manchester. And Jones just having a couple of seconds to stand off and reassess. Always thinking about a different way of attacking Jones. This newfound love for the sport. Stretching high there and just moving out of the way was Gomez.
You've got Jade putting on the pressure here. She's using that front leg effectively with a check to the body.
You can hear the home crowd trying to get behind their fighter.
She's trying to go. She's trying to work, change variation. Sometimes she'll go body, sometimes she'll go face, just to try to let her know that she could go anywhere. And this is a great start to her finals. She's imposing her game, and Gomez not allowing it. So now Jade needs to come out with a different strategy, and see what she can do here.
The way you see the two ladies, neither of them really breaking a sweat in that first round. They both look pretty calm and relaxed. And you see Gomez on the left of your screen, nodding and listening intently to what her coach has got to say. And Jade Jones' coach, very active, moving around, demonstrating what he wants to see from his fighter in this second round.
There's that point there.
You see the look of disappointment on Jones's face when she looked up there and realised there was a 1 and it wasn't in her column. Just a quick close of the eyes and she'll be thinking to herself, there's a long way to go here. And there is. This is only the second round. The crowd here in Manchester right behind their local or national hero. But
there you go, she's using effectively her front leg.
The Spaniard won't care about this home crowd, not one bit. She'll want those maximum points as much as anybody else here. And she leads by that solid point. Jones diving in. She thought she got it, not given.
I think we thought she got it as well, but
got to be more accurate than that.
That's right.
Couple of flicks from Gomez to the right arm of Jones, who stretches high again, not able to score.
She's looking for that headshot there. Body again, body trying to get her out.
Gomez takes to the one-leg defense.
Gomez just keeping Jade at bay. There you go.
This time Jones rises above. It goes right across the top of Gomez's head. Doesn't register again. Gomez now has a second point though. Just small points is what Gomez has done throughout this competition. And she's doing it again here, frustrating Jones in these first 2 rounds.
Jade really putting on the pressure for Gomez to make a mistake. There you go.
Trying to spin her opponent around and get that leg up high. Good blocking though from Jones this time as well.
Got Gomez using that front leg like how she's been doing that semi-final, keeping opponent at bay, pushing and flicking away. Anything that she can do, if she can touch the body armor, just a little flick will be any score here. And Jade is really running out of ideas here. She's trying to get in and trying to get a point on the board here. She's finding it quite hard with her long reach because she's keeping her away so much.
The official was more in danger than Gomez as it came to the end of that second round. I'll tell you what the Spaniard has done really well, and that is neutralise this crowd. She's got them watching on and thinking, oh, come on, this is not how it's meant to be. And once they've quietened down, she seems in her element.
That's right. She she's really working to what she actually planned before coming in. She's not giving anything away. She's playing her game and yeah, so it's working to her advantage at the moment. Here's that point that Jade had, but that didn't register. The ref thinking that it wasn't effective enough. But here's that headshot that we all saw that we say didn't touch the face, but yeah, Jade really needs to come out. Really needs to come out and try and be more effective with her shots.
Well, so far, Eva Calvo-Gomez has frustrated Jade Jones. She's frustrated the crowd, and she's frustrated Jones's ability to score. It's 2-0. 2 minutes to sort that out. As far as Jones is concerned,
she used to use that leg twice.
Well, now the card comes from Jones's coach, so she was adamant straight away after that flick of the leg, and here comes the appeal.
Well, she obviously thinks she's touched, so we'll see. As we see in the semi-final, we saw from a range that we thought that he touched, and then when we look at the slow motion replay, we see a different. There you go. So
that's real close.
That's really close there.
It only needs to have touched the bottom of the chin.
That's right for it to score. So they're going to slow us down. They're going to slow it down to see if that was the case.
Not quite sure we can see from this angle, but well, from that angle it looks like it just hits the shoulder. But the officials will have a different angle to maybe have a look at that one. We're not used to seeing Jones frustrated. This is tactical brilliance from the Spaniard.
Well, she's using her leg reach to keep Joan at bay, and it's working effectively for her, so she's going to carry on doing that till right to the end. As you can see, that Jay is getting frustrated, and
no score there either, so she's lost the card with 1:49 on the clock.
There you go, she might get a Kyungo here. No, she didn't get it.
She's got away with that one from the referee. Spinning kick from Jones, trying to register 2 automatic points.
Jones, any shot to their head could put Jones in front, so she's got loads of time to really get that shot. There you go. There's that headshot. That looked like it did touch there, and they did pull it on. There you go. She gets a Kyungo as well at the same time. So this is an advantage for them.
Understandably by the Spanish team here,
which is perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. Final round. That headshot could probably put Jade in front.
Well, if these are upheld, we go into the final 1:22 with Jones 1 up, and neither team having a card left to play. So big moment, this one.
Yep, that's right. That's right for both teams. So if Gomez get this protest go against her, then no one has a card here. So then again, it's all down to the referee, whatever happens. So
take a look at the replay.
Here we go. Here we can't see her.
It's the second attempt. Well, she's nearly wiped her nose with her foot, but is it close enough?
Probably they're going to look at a different angle.
They need to.
There might be a different angle here, so let's have a look. A different
huge
angle.
moment here. You see Jones looking on.
Now, from this angle, you can't really see whether if it did touch her face or not.
Jones is just pointing out to the officials the second kick she's appealing for, not the first one. This one here, where she stretches back up. Oh, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
It does look like she did get it with her second kick, as Jade was talking about.
Wiped off. Well, Jade Jones looks shocked.
She's obviously disputing about the second kick.
She's got to concentrate here, and just get back on with it.
She needs to focus.
And now the atmosphere changes. That one seems to strike.
There we go.
Nothing
and
there. There's no protest can come either.
So there you go. So
Jones 1:05 on the clock here, 2 down.
Eva is keeping her away here. Jade is looking for that headshot.
Gomez is having a very good and industrious fight. Again, Jones trying to get up with that left foot.
Jay's looking for that headshot, so she's gonna try and obviously get into a distance, but Gomez just keeping her at bay. She's using a long reach as she's been doing throughout the whole tournament. She's keeping her way at bay, and Jay's really running out of ideas here. So there we go. She gets a Kyongo, and that's Prix. That's a point to Gomez now. So she really needs to give it all now. There you go, another point for Gomez taking advantage. 4-1.
Jade Jones needs a grandstand finish here.
There you go, the Spaniards protesting for a headshot. So this could be an advantage for Jade to take a breather, rethink, and trying to think of what she can do to get the score either back to level or maybe get ahead. So she's only 3 points away to get it leveled. A spinning kick to the head could mean could be in front. So this is a time where she should be getting a breather and trying to think what she needs to do when they restart again.
Well, as it stands on the scoreboard here inside the arena, it registers 4-1 to Eva Calvo Gomez, the 22-year-old Spaniard, looking on here. But the protest coming in from the Spanish team, and a couple of shrugs of the shoulders, and one of those was from Gomez. And Jones again looking on. She's agonisingly seen her head kick dismissed, which is why it remains 4-1. There you can see the judges looking away at trying to figure out what's going on. Well, they thought there was a headshot there, I think, and it's clearly held up by the pads on the shoulder. So
there you go.
That's
now
a loss of a card.
33 seconds on the clock. No one has got no card, so this is really what the referee think. Gomez keeping Jade at bay. There you go. She falls on the floor. No Kyongo. She's got 20 seconds. She's looking for that shot there. There you go, another fall to the floor. She might get a Kyongo here.
She does, that's 4-2.
That's 4-2, so
that's a red
could be
in each column for both
shot
Gomez
to the head
and Jones.
Here, could win it for Jade.
4-2 now. Jones needs something. 9 seconds on the clock, 4-2.
4-2.
Jones attacking for the head. This time she thinks she's got it, pushes her out.
4 seconds on the clock. 4 seconds on the clock.
4-2, agonising here.
Stuff. She needs to get it.
Desperate.
There you go, another headshot to the face. And she didn't get it.
Jones is asking, but it's not looking like she's, well.
And she did not get that shot. And
well, it's a final score of 4-3. Eventually, Calvo was disciplined again, but it didn't do enough for hometown Jade Jones. Britain have had 2 golds in the first 2 nights. A 3rd straight finalist here at the World Taekwondo Grand Prix. Just that step too far. Jones, she might have found the love for the sport again. She just couldn't find that final step to get over the finish line here. Great result for Eva Calvo Gomez. The 22-year-old Spaniard will take the full 80 points on her quest to make it to Rio 2016. Jade Jones, who I'm sure we'll see live to fight another day, will take 48 points. It's a big step. Mama Joe, a good fight, but a more disciplined one from the Spaniard.
Yeah, she credit Jude where it needs to be. She's in James' hometown, and she played her game. She played what she needed to do, keeping Jade at bay, and that's exactly what she did. She didn't let the crowd get to her. She kept Jade at distance. She was disciplined in her tactics, and she got the better off of Jade. And but then a great performance from Jade. Let's not forget, she gave her all, and this goes to show that she is back. She's back to what she loves again, and this will motivate her for the upcoming tournaments that's coming for her.
Well, it might not be what this Manchester Central crowd wanted, but it's certainly a great advert for the world of Taekwondo. A wonderful contest between 2 wonderful fighters, and remember that name, Eva Calvo Gomez has caused a few shocks today, and she's upset this Manchester crowd by beating Olympic champion Jade Jones. The Welsh lady has to settle for 2nd place here. But kudos to Eva Calvo Gomez. Tough battle against Florian Liborio in the semi-final. and you can see the French lady, as I just mentioned, lining up. She was dispatched by Gomez in the semi-final, and then not that it gets any easier, but Gomez then had to fight the Olympic champion, and she did that pretty well as well.
The arena, our two bronze positions, our two third positions, our second position, and our new Grand Prix champion. Please welcome them onto the court. In third place, we have from France, Florine Liborio, and from China, Yuzu Wu. In second place, from Great Britain, Jade Jones. And the new Grand Prix champion from Spain, Eva Calvo Gomez. Once again, the medalists from China, France, Great Britain, and Spain. Manchester, as the athletes leave the arena, let's give them a very big cheer. Didn't quite work out the way we were hoping, but wonderful contest. We're now ready for our final of the finals. 8 finals we've had here in Manchester for the WTF, the inaugural WTF World Taekwondo Grand Prix, and we're now ready for our last final.
So we move on now to the final piece of action here at the inaugural World Taekwondo Grand Prix. And if there's something that this Grand Prix has certainly delivered, it's a few shake-ups and a few surprises. If that was the idea of the World Taekwondo Grand Prix, then they've got it bang on the money. Because tonight, this final really was a kind of who rather than who's who. Maxime Potvin of Canada will take on Alexei Denisenko of Russia. Neither inside top 5 ranking, but they've dispatched some big names on their way, and bigger names have fallen. Well, the Canadian, and we mentioned this earlier on, in the first round, just about scraped past Great Britain's Jordan Gale. Well, you were saying earlier that Gale put in probably the fight of his life. He's only a young man. He really pushed the experienced Potvin all the way. But look where Potvin's gone, and that's what Gale needs to look at. He's been beaten by a man who got right all the way to the final. That's right.
I think Jordan will be proud of himself with the work rate that he did today, because probably if that was Jordan that won, probably could have been him in the final here. So it's a great step for him, and I think we're going to see the best of him.
Well, as I say, this World Taekwondo Grand Prix throwing us a few different shapes and a few surprises, and these two they won't care about surprises. They've guaranteed themselves a hefty bulk load of points as they head towards Rio, and who doesn't want to be in Rio? Let's be quite frankly honest, the next few years are all about the Olympics. Of course, World Championships and Euros and Pan American and Mediterranean Games will come and go, that's for sure, but the big dream and the big starting block is right now heading towards the land of Samba. Rio 2016. Which one of these two will be there? If not both of them, because as we keep saying, 48 points is a good old score. Putting it in perspective, the French Open that takes place next week, just 10 points for winning the entire thing. That still leaves you another 38 points behind both of these two. So well done to them for making it this far. Mohamed, you saw these two in the semi-finals. If you were a betting man, where would it go?
Well, this is going to be quite interesting. They both got the same height, so leg length here is going to be quite crucial. I think Maxim is quite faster out of the two, so this is going to be a close call. I wouldn't know where to put my money right now, but it's going to be an exciting fight to watch.
Well, ignore the graphic on the bottom of your screen. It's not Bagheeri Mohamed at all. It is indeed the Canadian Maxime Potvin. Mohamed was the man that Potvin knocked out in the semi-final. So apologies for that one. We'll put that right. But it does still remain 0-0 either way.
There you go. I think Maxim has found his match here with the same leg reach. And he's changed his game plan. As we see the way they fought against Bagheeri, he was keeping Bagheeri to his bay, using that front leg. But now,
so it's Potvin, the Canadian, not Iranian as it says here. It's Potvin just fending off Denisenko of Russia. As Alma says, these two pretty much similar in height and fending each other off at the moment quite nicely. So energy coming there from the Russian. He tries to get that first point on the board. Potvin just pushing away his opponent with that long right leg of his, and then having to evade Denisenko as he starts to come back at him. And there's the first real strike of anger. It took a while.
There you go, sharp back leg to the body there. As I said, Maxim is faster out of the two, explosive with that back leg, and right now, there you go, is that headshot they was looking for.
Well, we waited about, I don't know, a minute and a half for anything really to happen, and then the two of them tried to get that first strike before the end of the first round.
That's right, you can see it. If you score, obviously, towards the end before the break, it just gives you that advantage coming back out with confidence. But both of them are trying here to cancel each other's front leg out. Russia is trying to get into the distance and maybe go high. That's what he tried to do again in the semi-finals, work for him, so he's doing the same here. Maxim's been quite explosive with his back leg and his front leg as well. So it's matching stuff here between the two.
Well, they're playing the time war. Let's not have a time war because this place was a railway station. It's a lot better as a Taekwondo arena, I can tell you that. The crowd are looking on and not for the number 7 train that pulls in at platform 9. They're looking to see which one of these two big fellas is going to take themselves 80 points. Manchester Central, full of attentive supporters. Which one of these two can break the deadlock? Denisenko seeing off world champion Lee Dae-hoon earlier on.
You got that front leg again to the body for Maxim. He's really using that front leg effectively. As soon as he hit, he's back out again, giving him the bait to tell him that he's open. And as soon as the Russian wants to come in, just cancel with that back leg. So it's working effective. He's really clever in the way he's using it now.
Canadian Potvin didn't score a moment ago, but he did make Denisenko grimace in pain, and that's part of the job.
There you go. Russian is doing the same with his front leg.
Uniform malfunction here. The strap on Potvin's right hand just coming loose, and Eagle-eyed referee spotting that and getting a pause in play, but still nothing score. We're halfway through this final. 60 seconds left in round 2.
I think what the Russian needs to do is probably check what he was doing in the semi-final against Bagari, because that was working effectively, and here he's not using as much as what he was doing, and I think that could actually work for him, just to probably use his front leg as he was doing from the start of the tournament. Here you go, he's being quite clever, looking away just to show him that he's not looking at his opponent. Very clever from the Russian opponent. Really clever what he just did there.
Well, Denisenko gets the first point. Potvin is looking slightly more nervous than he has in the other rounds. He perhaps realised the gravitas of where he is, but Potvin needs to get himself calm, and he needs to get that glove strapped up properly as well.
Well, you know, the equipment can sometimes be annoying, but yeah, he's quite cagey at the moment. Maxime, he's not playing the game that he wants, and he's got a match opponent now. He's same height, similar leg reach, and he's finding it difficult to score to the body and that can get frustrating at times. So, but Russian is getting the better off of him.
Yeah, throughout today, Potvin has come up against people far shorter than him, and Mohammed says at this weight level, to be this tall, these two have done really well to be underneath that 68 kilogram target. But now all of a sudden, Denisenko is roughly about the same height. He's only a young lad, he's only 20, but already Russian Open champion, bronze in London last year, 2011 Paris Open winner, and yeah, just what Mama was talking about earlier, Denisenko just looking one way and striking the other, and it really caught Potvin off guard there.
That's right. That was a really clever shot from him. He just showed his opponent that he was off course, but then again, that was just a trick, and it worked effectively for him.
Final round then, round 3. Denisenko of Russia, Potvin of Canada, just 1 point in it.
Russia is just looking for Maxime to make a mistake so he can just pick him off. But Maxime is finding it hard to score here.
Tense atmosphere here as they watch on for the final of the men's under 68 kilogram here at the World Taekwondo Grand Prix in Manchester. Just that 1 point separating the two here, and we've seen plenty of flurries of activity laid on in third rounds already this weekend. At the moment, it's Potvin that needs to start registering as we come up to the final 60 seconds or so. Referee just breaking them up and starting us back again.
There you go. That's better from the Russian. He's using his front leg there, like what we were saying, the check just to get in that distance to keep him at bay, and that's how it works. When you do that, it keeps your opponent further away from you to trying to score, and he's using it fantasticely now. Maxime.
Now his other strap that's stopped the match.
He has got a problem with our glovers in it, but there you go, Max.
It's a bit. Don't adjust your screens. It is quite smoky in here. Lighting, pyrotechnics, probably dust from the old railway station, I'd imagine as well. But certainly coming right across, and you can just about see it with all the strobe lights and whatnot. But what Potvin needs to see is through the smoke and into his opponent's chest.
That's right. He's the time running out here. About 20 seconds left. Maxime's finding it difficult to score here. He's not trying anything that he can. He's trying to work to go to the head here. There you go.
Dumping his opponent to the floor.
There you go. There's 10 seconds. He's got Kyongo here. He needs to be careful. This could really go anywhere. The referee could give a Kyongo right to the end. Who knows?
3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Two
seconds.
Potvin is going to run out of time.
There you go. And he gets it.
And the Russian coach, and there you see Denisenko. Well, that normally resembles a birth birth of a baby. We'll ask him later. But, well, he's all sorts of poses, this man. But what he can pose is the question, will I be going to Rio? Well, with 80 points tucked away, you might just be.
Why not? Why not? Why not? I'm sure that's what he's telling himself. If I can do it here with the best, I can do it anywhere as well. This is going to give him really good confidence towards that qualification spot for Rio 2016.
Just goes to show you in Taekwondo, you don't need 10, 15, 20 points. Sometimes just one will do.
Just the one will just do.
So, Alexei Denisenko from Russia. He knocked out world champion Lee Dae-hoon on his way into this final. He then knocked out Azbaghani of Iran in the semi-final, the world ranking number 4 and world champion. He knows how to beat a champion. Now he is one. He's the champion of the World Taekwondo Grand Prix male under 68 category. Medal ceremony will be coming up in a few moments' time, but that one was a different style. We talked earlier on, Hammer, about Taekwondo being very similar to chess, and I tell you what, the Russian played that beautifully.
Oh yes, he did get that checkmate right to the end, and he played it quite to perfection. For such a young person to come here, impose his game, play his game in front of world-class players, and come away as a victorious person, that really must be an achievement for him. He's really going to gain a lot of confidence right now, and coming up to these upcoming tournaments, he's going to be going in. He's going to be going in trying to collect those points.
We move now to the medal ceremony for the male under 68 kilogram. Taekwondo Grand Prix here in Manchester comes to an end. You can see the time. Well, I'll tell you what, if the Grand Prix comes to a time or a town near you, it's time to buy a ticket. Good evening, good night from Manchester Central.